بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. Dear viewers of the program on Hidayat TV, Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullah. First of all, I express my deepest condolences for the anniversary of martyrdom of Lady Fatimatu Zahra Salamullah alayha. And then, because of this occasion, I have chosen the topic of shafa'at for tonight to speak about intercession. First of all, we analyze this concept in Quran, and then we will see who are the intercessors, and then if we find more time, then we will analyze the causes and also the obstacles for shafa'at, intercession. Verily, the beloved awliyaullah, the beloved immaculates, imams, the beloved infallibles, firstly the holy prophet of Islam, and then his successors, and especially his daughter, will be inshallah our intercessors in the day of judgment, since according to Quran most of people will fail at that time because of their bad deeds in dunya. So we are in need of intercession first of all. And then, who is better than the Prophet of Islam, who has been sent to people only for mercy? وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, and his beloved daughter. So this is why I've chosen this topic, and inshallah the surveillance of the ayahs of Quran and ahadith would be beneficial to the dear viewers. First of all, we discussed the fact that intercession in Quran, is it allowed? Is it something accepted in Quran that people rather than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can intercede or not? And then, inshallah, we will see who has got this permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to intercede. We've got some ayahs of Quran speaking about the fact that no one can intercede in the day of judgment, like ayah number 48, Surah Baqarah, saying that واتقوا يوما لا تجزي نفس عن نفس شيئا ولا يقبل منها شفاعة ولا يؤخذ منها عدل ولا هم ينصرون. That fear from the day when no one's intercession is accepted, and then those guilty people, those sinful people are not helped, are not assisted by anything. So such ayahs have been considered as the ayahs by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is rejecting this fact happening practiced by humans at that date, at that time, in the day of judgment. So many would think, because of this ayah and similar ayahs, it's something impossible. But according to some other ayahs, like Surah Taha, ayah number 102, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَئِذٍ لَا تَنْفَعُ الشَّفَاعَةُ إِلَّا مَنْ أَذِنَ لَهُ الرَّحْمَنُ وَرَضِيَ لَهُ قَوْلًا. At that date, at that time, at that day, لَا تَنْفَعُ الشَّفَاعَةُ. Shafa'ah does not benefit anyone. Intercession does not include anyone except for those who have been permitted for, who has been allowed for. And then also in Surah Baqarah again we have in Ayatul Kursi, Man dhal ladhi yashfa'u 'indahu illa bi'idhnih. Who is the one who can intercede unless by his permission? So by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to these two ayahs and other ayahs like this, humans can get this permission at that day to intercede for others. Those pious people can intercede for those sinful people in need of intercession. There are a lot of more discussions in this regard, some questions and answers. Time is over, so we enter the next discussion, the ones who have got this permission to intercede. According to a hadith, there are a lot of group of people who can intercede. Among them is, we have this fact in Shia and Sunni books. I just quote to the hadith mentioned in Bihar al-Anwar, volume 8, page 34, from the Holy Prophet of Islam. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله ثلاثة يشفعون إلى الله فيشفعون. The Prophet of Islam said 3 groups of people would intercede and their intercession will be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those 3 groups are, first al-anbiya, the prophets, and then al-ulama, thumma al-ulama, and then al-shuhada. And here we can see the process also by the word thumma. It means the first group who will get this permission to intercede for others are the prophets, who are infallible according to our beliefs, and then the scholars, ulama, the knowledgeables, and then after them, if other people, other sinful people will remain to be interceded, then ash-shuhada, martyrs. According to this hadith, 3 groups of people are mentioned to have this permission by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The permission mentioned in Ayatul Kursi and Surah Anbiya, ayah number 28. We have also other groups of intercessors in the Day of Judgment. Actually, Amir al-Mu'mineen is also mentioned especially as the one who can intercede. The Holy Prophet of Islam says in this regard, إني لأشفع يوم القيامة وأشفع فأشفع وشفع علي فيشفع. Actually, indeed, verily, I will intercede in the Day of Judgment, and then Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen, will intercede, and our intercession would be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other individual whose intercession has been explicitly mentioned in riwayat, in a hadith, is Lady Fatimatu Zahra. That these days and nights belong to her. Again, the Holy Prophet of Islam says, أيما امرأة في اليوم والليلة 5 صلوات وصامت شهر رمضان وحجت بيت الحرام وزكت مالها وأطاعت زوجها وبالت عليا بعدي دخلت بشفاعة ابنتي فاطمة. Anyone who says her prayers 5 times and then fasts in the month of Ramadan, وحجت بيت الحرام, and then performs her Hajj, and then purifies her properties with zakat, and then obeys her husband, and then accepts the wilaya of Amir al-Mu'mineen, then she would be interceded by the shafa'a intercession of Lady Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayha. So the shafa'a of Lady Fatima al-Zahra also has been mentioned in riwayat. In another hadith, there is a great story mentioned in another hadith, in another narration, mentioning the quality of intercession of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, and that is amazing. It's been mentioned that this hadith, this story is very long, but to summarize the story, I just mentioned a part of it which is proper for this lecture. Actually, according to this hadith, in the day of judgment, it happens that all the prophets are gathered together, and above them the Holy Prophet of Islam has got a throne from light, and then Amir al-Mu'mineen next to him, and then other immaculate imams, and then other prophets are all together. And then by the command of the Prophet, he would ask, Lady Fatima al-Zahra wants to enter Mahshar and the scene of hereafter. And he orders all the people present there to just look at the ground, not to look at her, because Lady Fatima al-Zahra is entering the scene of Mahshar. And then, according to this hadith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks his Prophet to ask his daughter to enter heaven firstly, and then she would move to the heaven, to the door of heaven. But before she reaches to the door of heaven, she stops and looks. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks her, Ya Fatima, oh Lady Fatima, why you have stopped here? Then she answers, she says, I would like to know my value before you, Allah. And then she looks at Mahshar and she says, I want to know how much value I have before you. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, oh Fatima, look at the people in Mahshar and see whoever has a love to you and to your sons and grandsons and to your progeny, then you can take her to the heaven. This way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to show the value of Lady Fatima al-Zahra. And then she does the same thing. And then the people who are interceded by her, when they come to her, again, the people again would say that they will stop at that place before the door of heaven. Again, the same question, and again the same answer. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers them, oh look, whoever has quenched you water, anything, has fed you with any food, has given you, has loved you for the sake of Ahlul Bayt. And then any service, some other services also are mentioned, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, go and see whoever has given you any type of service for the sake of love of Ahlul Bayt, then you can take them to heaven with you. Then the lovers of Lady Fatima al-Zahra and her progeny at that date, at that time, they would choose again. And this hadith mentions, firstly, about Lady Fatima Zahra. The hadith mentions she collects the people at that day like a bird collecting seeds from the ground. So this way, the intercession of Lady Fatima Zahra will involve her lovers and the lovers of Ahlul Bayt. The other owners of this virtue are other Ahlul Bayt. According to another hadith of the Holy Prophet of Islam, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, he says, وَيَشْفَعُ أَهْلُ بَيْتِي فَيُشَفَّعُونَ وَأَهْلُ بَيْتِ and then my progeny will intercede and their intercession would be accepted. And then the other prophets, again another hadith says, يشفع الأنبياء في كل من كان يشهد لا إله إلا الله مخلصا. The prophets also will intercede for anyone who has confessed to the unity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and purely and sincerely has confessed to the unity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying La ilaha illallah. Whoever says La ilaha illallah with purity and sincerity, then he or she would be involved in the intercession of the prophets. According to ayahs number 26 till 28 of Surah Anbiya, again Surah Zukhruf ayah number 86, Surah Najm ayah number 26 again, the angels also can intercede. Another group of intercessors are Malaika, angels. The martyrs, according to a hadith, martyrs also can intercede. Again, the Holy Prophet of Islam says, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, يشفع الشهيد في 70 إنسانا من أهل بيته. The martyr can intercede for 70 people from his relatives and family. And then the scholars also can intercede. Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam says, إذ كان يوم القيامة بعث الله العابد فإذا وقف بين يدي الله عز وجل قيل للعابد انطلق إلى الجنة وقيل للعالم قف تشفع للناس بحسن تأديك بهم. When the day of judgment comes, Imam as-Sadiq says, then Imam says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands to the worshippers and to the scholars, to the knowledgeables. Imam says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands to the worshippers, you can go to heaven, and then asks the scholars, you can stop here and intercede for people. And then also we have other groups of intercessors like the relatives also without being martyred, and also neighbors. Again, Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam says, Al-Jar yashfa'u al-Jar. The neighbor can intercede for his or her neighbor. So according to these ahadith, these groups of intercessors have been mentioned in Quran and ahadith. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to be, first of all, be among the intercessors. If we can earn knowledge, and then we be among the scholars, then inshallah we will have this tawfiq and success. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the tawfiq of martyrdom as well, inshallah we will have the same power and permission at that day. And the next of the groups of intercessors mentioned in ahadith are a kind of causes for intercession, and let me start with them. According to a hadith from the Holy Prophet of Islam, Quran can intercede for people. According to Quran, according to this hadith, الشفعاء خمسة القرآن والرحم والأمانة, and then the Prophet mentions two other things. According to this hadith, the Prophet says that Quran is one of the intercessors. Whoever learns Quran and teaches Quran, then Quran will intercede for him or her in the day of judgment. Again, trustworthiness. Trustworthiness can be another cause for intercession, and can be a shafi' for ummah, for people. The one who is trustworthy, according to a hadith from Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, from the Holy Prophet of Islam, he says that whoever is trustworthy, that trustworthiness would help him in the day of judgment and will intercede for him or for her. And the issue of trustworthiness is not that simple. It's not just about money or properties. It's about anything that people own and they require you to keep healthy for them, anything. Since my topic is not this, so I skip it and mention the next cause. So, inshallah, after a 2 minutes break, I will mention the other causes for intercession mentioned in ahadith as the intercessors in the day of judgment. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.